I'm running it on my phone. I will I'll go ahead and turn the camera around so everybody can see what the room looks like right now. It's a big place. We got a registration table, we've got buttons and stuff we're selling, snacks back there. It's a big place. I think it's going to work out really nice for us. We got the good angle. All right, TikTok, I'll turn this around so you guys can see as well. Back table back there, there, registration table, all that. Background for that. This is going to be our official. All right, okay, we're getting ready to start, everybody. We're going to talk loud, Lori. Just volume up. Oh, thank you so much for sharing the live. This is the monthly meeting for IndivisibleMOV. Yeah. We need you louder. Nope. What's that? No. Needs to be louder. Yeah, needs to be louder. Okay, so Facebook Live sounds like yeah. I with the Zoom more than I had. I was with Wait, does this make any difference? I just need something on the thing. Can't really stand me. Okay. Maybe back to the other one. Maybe it's Lori's being very quiet. You gotta get the mic very, very loud. Oh, well, that is frustrating if that is thank you. Yeah. All right, now try it. Closer. That's better. All right, speak loud. So we're gonna get started. I'm sorry it's a few minutes late, but the parking was kind of busy out there. So, but we want to welcome everybody. We're excited to be in this new space tonight. So, we want to ask, I want to ask for your patience because this is the first time I'm kind of taking over this role. We missed Trish, who's traveling, but we'll be back in 2 to 3 months. She is in Croatia for her. I want to start off by saying thank you to each and for everything that you've done since our last meeting. Those of us who started this local chapter are, we are just so impressed by everybody and how much you've done and what you've meant to us. This community of people is really very important to us. And we hope that you're finding that we are helpful and supportive of you. And it's been very big, a very nice big change for us. We were always open to nice, kind criticism and ideas. So I would ask the members of the steering committee, those of us who just kind of started things from the beginning, if they would stand up so you know who to go to if you have ideas, questions. So if those of you will just so any of us would love to help you or take your questions and concerns. This evening, we have put index cards on the table, and we're going to ask you to put on the cards what events or activities, ideas, programs, what you would like to see. Anything that you've been thinking about that you think is a good idea and you want us to pursue it, talk about it. If you could write that on your card, and then we'll just leave them on the table. At the end of the meeting, we'll go around and pick them up, and then we'll report back to you in October. We've all been really busy since our last meeting. I'll name a few of the events that we've had. Meryl Clark and Eric Engel held a workshop on writing op-ed and letters to the editor to have maximum impact, and that was great. Got a lot of good feedback from that. We had 2 protests when Riley Moore sent her staff to Parkersburg, but didn't bother to show up in person. And that got a really nice write-up in a paper Mountain Spotlight. So that was good. We had 2 sign-making events in Marietta, and those were fun, and we plan to do that again in October. We held 2 protests on the Mineral Wells overpass, and we all survived the heat, and that was like crazy. So that was really fun. But I think they were very effective. A lot of traffic and a lot of good feedback. We then, on Labor Day, as you know, we held 5 separate protests with the theme Workers Over Billionaires. And I think for those 5 protests, we had over 250 people. So that was really great. And we made the front page of the paper.
Yes.
It's always good to get that coverage. So thank you, Meryl and Amanda, because it's a great way, to get the word out there, get more people interested. So we hope you feel a sense of pride and accomplishment with everything that what you've done and that you're still doing. We learned yesterday from the National Indivisible Organization that the next big event we will have is a No King 2 protest. They've been planning this for weeks and kind of waiting until the right time to announce it and to actually hold the event. That is going to take place on October 18th. That is a Saturday. If you remember the last No King protest, they estimate that about 5 million people nationwide took place in those protests. The protests were held all over the world, but about 5 million just in the US. So with this next protest, their goal is 11 million people. And some of you may already know, but 11 million people is about 3.5% of the US population. And that's the goal. That's what they're looking for, because the experts have shown that if you can get 3.5% of the population active in the resistance, then you can actually hold what's called a general strike, which is the next big event. And I won't go into a lot of detail about that. A lot of you may already know about it and know even more than I do. But when you call a general strike, it's like a nationwide strike where businesses, people shut down, everything shuts down because you are trying to show government that you're not going to support basically anything until things change. So it's a really, really big deal. So anyway, the goal for October 18th is 11 million people. That's going to take a lot of hard work from all of us. We need to bring in people who are not yet active, but we're willing to do the work. Since this date just came out yesterday, we haven't yet planned our local event, but we're going to be working really diligently on that. So if you'll keep up with the Facebook and the social media site, we'll let you know for sure as soon as we know the exact plans. We also are planning 2 protests to demand the release of the Epstein files. And that is kind of in response, kind of in reaction, along with today's press conference. So those will be held on September 6th, which is this Saturday, and September 7th. The 6th is going to be in Marietta at Pike Street and Acton Street from 1 to 2 p.m. And our signs will focus on Epstein. The second protest will be, with the same focus, will be held Sunday, the following Sunday, September 7th, from noon to 1. That will be at the Parkersburg City Park, the intersection of 23rd Street and Park Avenue. And we're sorry about the short notice that we've kind of come up quickly with these ideas. So again, please look at Facebook for more details, but that's where we're going to be. There's also posters on the side over there. And if you instead of writing it down, if you just want to take a picture of the protest posters, they have the dates, times, and all of that. So you can just click a picture so you don't have to remember. And since I've been talking about the sites, the Facebook sites, social media, I know we still get questions about how to find our events on Facebook and mobilize us especially. So Amanda is going to take a few minutes and have some slides and kind of go over that with you.
All right, we're doing that now. I gotta get something up on here real quick. All right. Mobilize us, Mobilize US. When you go to the website, it's mobilize.us, not com, not org, nothing like that. That was something I kept messing up on. Well, you go to the website and you can see at the top, you can type in where the magnifying glass is, IndivisibleMOV. You can type it in as one word, or you can type it in with the space in it. It'll still get you all the information you need. The screenshots I took, this is from a phone. This is what it's going to look like if you bring it up on your phone. When you type that in, automatically things are going to start showing up. You can see our monthly meeting right there. When you click on the meeting itself, it gives you a lot of information. You have the name of the event, the date, time, location, everything. And if you scroll down, it'll actually give you a map that you can click on if you want, and it'll automatically open up like your navigation, whatever you have on your phone. At the bottom there, you can sign up with Indivisible. If you fill that out, hit the attend button, you will get emails and updates about the meetings and stuff we have going on. Oh, Brad, I need the X. All right, so that's Mobilize. For Facebook, I've got a lot more slides. Now, first of all, on Facebook, if you don't know Facebook at all, you click on your Facebook app and you can hit the magnifying glass at the top, type in IndivisibleMOV. As you're typing, you'll see it should just automatically pop up there. And then you can just straight click on that. And once you click on that, all right, go to the next one. It'll bring up something like this. Like this shows the most recent post we've done. And you can click on that up there. And then that brings you to our page. You might need to scroll down a little bit, but you'll see a More tab. When you click on the More tab, that's going to pop up, Events and Mentions. You want to hit Events, and then it'll show everything we have coming up. It's showing the ones that have recently passed, but you'll see that the star right there is dark, it's gray or black, and it says interested. If you click on that, it gives you options, whether you want to say you're interested in it going or not going. When you click on your choice, it's going to change that to blue up there, so you know that you've chosen what setting you want. But if you click on the event itself, again, you're going to get all the information you need. So whether you go through Mobilize or Facebook, all that same information is going to be there. It says the location. It even has the navigation. Like you click on it, it'll say open maps, and then it'll give you options, whether you want to walk, drive, transit, whatever. But if you click on the drive one, let me see, that's my last slide. But if you click on the drive one, just like with the Mobilize app, it's going to open up your navigation on your phone, and it'll take you directly to wherever our meeting is. Now, if you guys have questions beyond what I've just showed you, just come up to me after the meeting. I can help you get to any Indivisible stuff on whatever social media we're on. And the flyers that they're passing out, the QR code on the bottom of that flyer, if you scan that, that goes to our link tree, which all that is that's a hub for everything. It'll have the current Zoom link for our current meeting. It will have access to if you need to contact us. It has calendars that have all of our events that will actually sync with the calendars on your phone. So everything will just automatically be there, links to all of our social media, just on one thing. And it even has, I did add the donation link for the Act Blue. Because if you guys have seen it, somebody going over to Act Blue. Are you going to talk? Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. All right, that's it for me. Oh, the QR code, most phones, if you just open up your camera app and hold it over the code for 5 seconds or so, it will probably pop up with, do you want to go to this website thing? If not, you can go through your browser on your phone, like Google Chrome, whatever, and it should have a thing where you can like scan photos. Like if you want to see, what this is, where it came from, scan the photo, but you can do that with QR codes as well, and it will still give you the option to go to the website. Anything else? All right.
The invisible.org site always has a lot of programs to educate us in ways to grow the community of people. So if you can, please check out one especially important one, I think, that's titled 1 Million Rising. And this program has been used especially in anticipation of the No Kings 2 protest. The goal of the program is for each person to try to talk with 2 or 3 people who may be on the fence about what they're thinking, or maybe they are in support of what we are believing, but they have not been involved in any action. So the purpose of the program is to kind of bring those people along, to kind of get them a couple more steps ahead in their journey, hopefully to where we are, to where we're going. And that's how we'll get to greater numbers that we need for the next protest. It's an excellent, it's really an excellent program. I can't say enough about how much information they give you. They'll give you the talking points, exactly what to say. It's very good. So just play around with the indivisible.org site and you'll find it. We've noticed in talking with others that to make effective points and arguments, it helps to have a better understanding of how our government works and how authoritarian regimes take over. To help with this, we thought it would be good because we've had to educate ourselves as well. There's a lot about how our government works that we didn't understand, and certainly a lot about how authoritarian regimes work that we did not understand. So it's a learning process, but there are a couple of books that I wanted to recommend. This one is by Timothy Snyder, and it's titled On Tyranny. You can see that it's a short little book. It's a quick read, but it's an excellent resource. It basically goes step by step of what you'll see with authoritarian takeovers. And I'll just warn you, it's pretty frightening because we're hitting every step. But it's excellent. He's a historian. He's a world-renowned author and historian. He spent a lot of time in Ukraine. It's excellent. He has other books too, but this is the book I'd recommend first. The second one that was recommended to me is called American Government 101. It's really informative. It starts with the beginning of American government, and it really explains how our government should work, how the different offices and divisions and branches of the government should work. It's simple explanation, makes a lot of sense. So I would advise you, recommend that book. I'm listening to it right now on Audible, so if you listen to books, you can get it that way. You can also, I ordered a hard copy from Rick Books, and someone else said they found it at the Dollar Tree store. So maybe there.
The author.
Yes, thank you. It's Sears, Kathleen Sears. So each of us can help fight the disinformation. Timothy Snyder, this author, says that democracy depends on truthful, risky speech. And he reminds us that we must protect truthful, risky speech because tyranny is born of lies and disinformation. So we have to fight lies with truth. Kim and Meryl are going to talk for a few minutes about effective protesting and a couple minutes about talking with the press. Have that opportunity. Well, Meryl, go first. Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so I want to this tonight.
Yes, it's on.
Okay, sorry, I was just trying to speak really close with this microphone. Is that any better there in the back? Okay, great. I want to talk a little bit about interacting with the media. So we have had a lot of really, really good coverage lately of our protests and our events. It's just been so hard to see because, as you know, we live in a small media market.
There's some weird feedback.
Okay.
I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Here?
I don't know. We broke something. Just keep
Okay.
going.
Okay, this is great. But, yeah, so we've had a lot of media coverage of our event.
Might need to go back that way.
It's been really hard to see.
That's better.
Okay, let's get stay put on that stage. Yeah. So we have, basically the News and Sentinel and the Marietta Times on the print side of media. And then we have WTAP on the actual news team side of video video and things like that. And we've had success with both of those lately. That's been really cool to see. And, we have been contacted also by the outlets, that we did not necessarily solicit media attention from, which is not State Spotlight, which, where you mentioned earlier. That was a really cool opportunity because they found out about our protest of Riley Moore, the day that he did those global office hours, failing to host a town hall that he should have been the whole time anyway. So we were there protesting the fact that he was not there in person to meet with constituents. And this Mountain State Spotlight reporter showed up and interviewed people with our group and protesters who were there that day. And it was a really good and effective article that really started the work that we were doing and drew attention to it. So I was really, really glad to see that. It did make me think though that that could happen again at one of our future events. And if it does, I want everyone in this room to feel comfortable either talking with a reporter about why they chose to be there at that protest today, or if you're not comfortable, saying, no, thank you, and then directing them, preferably to someone on the steering committee, but not necessarily. So, and if you do decide to speak with the media, my advice to you is to keep it simple. So for each of our events, we tend to have a theme. For example, Labor Day, we talked about prioritizing workers over billionaires. So if a reporter were to come up to you at an event like that, it would be really great and helpful to our organization and to keeping a cohesive message if you kept your comment to that topic. So talking about like why the working class matters in America, why the ways in which it's being denigrated and things like that. So that is my number one piece of advice, is if you do decide to talk to media, to keep it on the point of the theme of that particular event. The other advice I can give you is that if you do not wish to speak to the media, or if you feel, I don't want to make anyone nervous, but in the event that a bad faith reporter or outlet contacts you and you, for example, like someone at a steering committee recently reminded me that Breitbart used to exist, and I guess they at some point came down to West Virginia for an event years and years ago. And, you know, they tried to ruffle feathers, they just wanted to get that gotcha moment on tape or whatever. And so if someone from a Breitbart-like organization tries to get you to comment on the matter of the day, it would be my strong advice for you to say no comments and leave it at that. So that is my advice on interaction with the media. I'm really happy with the coverage that we've been getting lately. And also, so I have been doing a thing where I've been going to our events and interviewing people on camera. And if you do not want to do that, that is perfectly fine. You can tell me no thank you, and that will not have my feelings. So if I approach you at an event and I ask you for a comment, you do not have to do that. We're in no way obligated. Those of you who are interested, I would love to know who you are so I can identify you at the next event. I would love to talk to you. So. All right, thanks everybody.
The media class, the Media 101 class that Meryl did is available to stream on YouTube and TikTok. I want to throw that out there.
Thank you. I appreciate the plug. All right, Kim, you ready?
I've got a bobble table, I think, here.
Okay, we're gonna start with a little exercise. On every table, there's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper with instructions on it. I want everybody at the table to read those instructions. If there are 2 or fewer people at your table, please combine with another table if you would, so that we have at least 3 people at a table. You guys back there wouldn't mind combining? There's 2 and 2, 2 and 2. Yeah, just try to get at least 3 people at a table for the time. That
So you guys. Right?
every table has different instructions, so pay no attention to what another table may be doing when you start exercise. Do what the instructions on your table say to do. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to read the instructions?
No, not yet. What you right side of the room?
You're right. I left, you're right, that's the right side.
All right, guys. I should have had a copy of this.
Okay. Everyone,
Is this what you're talking about?
no.
All right, I want to show them. Yeah.
Oh, well, they're different on every table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
there's like 5 different sets of instructions.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Everyone-
next time we do something like this, step one.
All right. Anybody have a question before we start? Okay, I want y'all to stand up. Face the direction that it said to face on your instructions,
Do the hokey pokey.
and now do the rest of what the instructions said. So. The group that was told not to stand, what did you hear? Wait, okay, well, what did you hear? Donald Trump has got to go.
That's
What
right.
were the tables that were chanting that? Where were you? Okay. Now, what did this table hear?
Noise.
Noise.
Eventually heard, hey.
Okay. Where's the other table that was instructed? Okay, what did you all hear?
Was Josh, but then the hey, hey, ho, ho kind of took over.
Noise? Yeah, okay. There was a point to the, oh, we were all. Okay, there were actually 4 different chants, I believe. Stop the steal, hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go. This is what democracy looks like. Nobody heard that one at all, right? And what was the, right, right.
Oh, they're moving backwards.
On, the people united can never be divided. Anybody hear that one? No. You heard stop the steal and hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go, right? Okay. The point of this is, when you go to a protest, how many of you have been to a protest where they were chanting? Okay. Most of you have heard these chants before, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you already had a little bit of a clue if you caught a couple of words of what the chant was gonna be, and everybody can sit back down now. Okay. The point to protesting is to show that there are people that have a certain point of view, and you want to get the message out. Am I right? I mean,
Yeah.
part of it is you're there to, it's a great thing. It makes you feel good because there are other people that share your opinion on things. There are other people that are like-minded that are out there and willing to stand up. But part of the reason you're out there is to get your message out. Okay. There are different kinds of protests. I can't even list them all right now. Okay. There are protests that involve street theater, and a lot of those have no signs and no chanting. They're like a play that is put on out in public that makes a point. The group ACT UP back in the AIDS crisis, they were really good at street theater. You have rallies. I think most of you have been to a rally. There've been several here in Marietta this spring. They generally involve gathering in one spot. You have speakers, you have musicians, people bring signs. Rallies often conclude with a short march afterward. Then you have marches that are just marches, where you assemble at a certain spot, you have your sign, you have a predetermined route, and you march down that route with your sign. Then there are something called visibility events, and that's mostly what we've been doing here, and there are reasons for that. Rallies and marches generally require, one, a lot of advanced planning time. Two, if they're of any size or length at all, you're going to have things like, you got to think about porta potties, think about parking. You have to coordinate possibly with the local law enforcement. You may have to have permits. You may have to buy liability insurance. Okay, we don't have those resources. We usually don't find out that they're calling for nationwide protest until a few weeks ahead of time. The city of Parkersburg requires a solid month, okay, to apply for a permit to have a march or a Parkersburg. And Belgrade is only 1 week, and I don't even know about Williamstown and Marietta or any place else, but all your local government entities that are in charge of wherever you're having an event, they all have different requirements, and you have to be able to meet those requirements. So we don't have the ability to buy liability insurance, and we generally don't get a long lead time to plan things. So we've had a lot of visibility events. At rallies and marches, your signage, people can be really creative and come up with some wonderful signs. And most of the people that are going to see those signs are going to be in the rally or in the march or along the march route. Okay, a visibility event is different. People are passing by in cars. Okay, so it's very important that they can read your sign. All right, otherwise you're kind of wasting time standing there. I mean, you're not wasting your time because it's important to show up and show out, but they're not getting your message. And I know, like the event we had in Belgrade for Good Trouble, when I went on the social media, local social media afterwards, about 50% of the people that drove by that thought we were protesting the tolls on the damn toll bridge. That is not good. You want people to understand why you're out there and what your message is. So visibility events, in order for them to be effective, the signs have to be effective. Okay, what makes an effective sign? Short.
Bright color.
5 words, release the Epstein file. Workers need fair pay. We're not trying to be creative with artwork and clever things, and we're not trying to come up with a long laundry list of all the things that are wrong. We want one message. We want everybody's signs to be on the message of the day. Okay? Otherwise, it's like the cacophony we had in here when we had different people shouting different chants. You can't pick out what's going on and what the message is. So, big signs, short words, few words, and big letters. Okay, the letters, like, ideally should be like hand size. Okay, if somebody's driving by and they're going 25, 45 miles an hour, they're not going to see the fine print, okay? So big letters, big signs, big letters. High contrast, okay, between the lettering and the background of the sign. That really helps. I think I have another point or two. Let me take a look at my notes real quick. Okay, big thing. Let me bring it to you here. y'all are in your car going by me, I'm a protester. What does my sign say? I'm on the sidewalk facing the road.
Can't read it.
You have to, people over here can read it, but otherwise not. Okay. When you are out there protesting at a visibility event, face the traffic. Don't face like this, because the drivers, they're going that way. They're not gonna turn their head to read your sign. You need to get it out there like the highway signs. They're pointed at the drivers, right? They're not this way where people have to turn their head when they go by it. Talk, so on, and it can be a problem to try and come up with a sign at every single protest. I have some suggestions real quick. Blackboard. This is phone cord blackboard. Get the blackboard and chalk, and you can have a new message for every protest. Okay. Another thing is that weather tears up a lot of signs. This is more weather impervious. Also, if you have old candidate signs, there's such a thing as blackboard contact paper. You can blackboard contact paper, cover the candidate sign, and you've got a reusable weatherproof protest. Oh, and if you don't have the time or the money to make a sign, Crystal, can you hold up that flag over there? That's always effective.
Someone's asking where you get the blackboard at.
I got this at Michael's. Okay. You can get blackboard contact paper online. If you need old candidate signs, you can talk to me. I know a few candidates who have a garage full of it. Okay. A flag is always effective. If you don't have the time or the money to make a sign, come wave a flag, or just bring your body, okay? That's effective. Like the Madagascar penguins, smile and wave, okay? Yeah.
Belief makers, yes or no?
I would say that depends on the location. If you're in a residential neighborhood, I wouldn't. But if you're, I don't know, if you're out in a noisy environment, it can help draw attention. Yeah. So, any other questions? Yeah. Yeah. It would be nice if we have extra signs to bring too. Because then if somebody's running late or something, we would bring a couple more. And I try to do that. I try to make extra and have extra. We can all do that. We are going to have a couple of sign making events between now and October 18th. Some in Parkersburg, some in Marietta, maybe some in other locations. Yeah, please.
If anyone knows the location for that, let us know, because we're looking for a bigger space.
Yeah, I'm looking into having it at my Summers Auditorium at the Parkersburg Wood County Library for Parkersburg. But if you know of other places, by all means, let us know. Maybe they do. Yeah, in Marietta, we're looking at probably the UU basement. But, we can use more locations. Yeah, so I may at some point, when I have time, have a Zoom training on sign making to cover some additional points. Anyway, if you have any further questions, you can email me or text me. Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna, come up. She is our finance manager. Yeah. Same good things that are probably doing.
Somebody asked that if anybody asks questions, if it'll be repeated so it can be heard.
Better?
Yeah, there you go.
So I want to thank you all for coming tonight. We put a lot of work into these things. Appreciate it. We also appreciate the donation that has been made so far. Donation posted again today. We raised over $400 in July, August, and September. Now, by the way, the pins are still for sale. If you're interested. But the new and exciting that we're talking about is we finally got our flu fundraising plan. What that means is that we can take donations online. With a QR code like we've got on the table, or by checking the link. This was, I'm going to say, put together by generally speaking, you can make a one-time donation, or you can do like I did and make a recurring monthly donation. That would fit your budget. You know, maybe you can make a one-time donation. It helps you budget your expenses. It also helps us budget what kind of money we've got coming. So we would appreciate it. We've got these signs on the table. We've got a note by the pin, and we would greatly appreciate that. In addition, because we now have a fundraising platform, we need a fundraising committee, and in particular, a grant writer, because part of what Indivisible offers us is the opportunity for one but also we're also able to apply for grants in the national and that takes experienced grant writers to do that. So we are looking for those people. If you are one of those, or you know of somebody that is one of those, please let them contact one of us and get them hooked up. We've missed 2 fundraising opportunities while we were waiting to get our approved for that. So we're anxious to get going. We're still going to collect the cash donations for a while. There are some expenses that can be paid out of the account with active funds that we will be taking out of. I think I'm missing. Oh, what do we spend this money for? Well, we rent basic stuff. We have refreshments like we have tonight. We buy bottled water for our events, and we've had some very generous donations to cases of water. We've got a Zoom account. We've got a texting program. We've got other technologies that we would like to put into place. We've got office supplies, pens, pencils, flip charts, everything that you can imagine starting a business. And all of this has to come from funding, because Indivisible is not going to give us any startup money unless we get those grants. So this is why we will ask very nicely if you would consider donating to us to help cover the cost of holding these meetings, holding these protests, holding these events, and help with the organization grow. If you have any questions on that, you can contact me after the meeting. I'd be glad to help you walk through scanning the QR code and making a donation, or just fill up the donation. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Sue Ellen. One of the big expenses we have is looking for a place to meet. We are going to begin meeting again in Parkersburg at the Fort Lorman Room. That was the location of our very first meeting. And that is, the cost for that is $75 each time you're there. This location, can y'all hear me?
Oh, it's off now. I think the mic went off. There,
Okay, better.
yeah.
So the cost of the room in Parkersburg is $75, which is really good, and it's a nice location. The cost of this location is $200. So it's a lot. And we're open to, if you have ideas of other places to meet. We've tried a few in the area, we've kind of outgrown a couple of them. So if you have ideas, please let us know. We thought about the Armory, but during the summer, the Armory is not air conditioned. And then beginning in the fall, they host a lot of sports events with the Marietta schools. So it's not anything we could rely on a regular basis. So gladly take your ideas. Now we're gonna have a little group discussion just at your tables. You can stay where you are if you like, or if you don't like those people, you can swear. But what we'd like you to discuss is, what's your greatest hope, for this group? What you would most like to get out of this group? What your expectations are, maybe what we're not doing that you need. So if you'll just take a few, maybe 10 minutes to talk about it, then we're gonna have maybe one person at your table just quickly tell us, the synopsis of what you felt. So the clock is ticking.
All right, I'll turn this camera back. You guys can see everybody around the room. Okay, people on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. If you would like to type out whatever your concerns are, where the direction you'd like to see the group go in, the biggest issues you'd like for us to work together to fight in, go ahead, type them out, and I'll read them when we get back. Facebook and sets where you can like the video or anything wherever you see it. Except for TikTok. Sorry, TikTok. Y'all are on a different device right now. She'll TikTok and want to bring you towards that screen. Well, towards one back there. I'm gonna try to get this.
about the postcards on your table.
All right, so, I thought I'd bring another action item for everybody to do, don't have to do it here. I saw this last week, the, he will turn on you, postcards, so I made postcards for everybody to take as many as you want. To send to your representatives, because as of last night, he tweeted, if any of you sign on to the, Epstein file bill, he's turning against you. So they all need to have these cards sent to them. So that's for you to do, as an action on your own.
Great, yeah, Judith. Sign, go. If each month, card, will be just. Signs of justice. Yep. They don't do it, but trying to get one. Do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of good. Okay. So there's a lot of good postcard programs going on. If you just look them up on the internet, there's a lot of different ways to get postcards and send them. So that, thank you, Lisa, for bringing those. Postcards to voters where they have campaigns and you write for the campaign and sign the person. So, and that's really, okay, great, thank you. And so, are you looking for?
What we would like is, first of all, filing voting through campaign, local, state, and federal, and library boards, school boards, and constituencies. We're all very discouraged right now, but there are people out there that feel to step into these roles, and, you know, that's a huge thing, and to support them. So that was the first thing. Secondly, it's really to focus on growing this invisible MOV group, with a particular focus on educating people about the issue. We discussed that a lot of young people choose to vote the way their parents do, because mom and dad were Republicans, but I have to be one too.
There's a run for something done, and they will support a candidate, work with them, educate them, go through the whole process. So, it's a great time, great music. Thank you.
All right, Mike.
No.
Okay. Okay, yeah, well, I'm making a good point. Because we are a nonpartisan political group, we cannot use our funds to support any political candidate. As individuals, we obviously can, but we can't, as a group. We'd be breaking the law.
If we're not
money to them though.
We can't spend any money.
Yeah, so we can't spend any money on any efforts to support them. You can still look for good candidates, and you can still, yeah, you can do it personally, you can still, yeah, try to recruit good people, push them in the, the direction of that site I told you about. Yeah, encourage people, absolutely, we just can't use our money.
We can't endorse candidates either.
So we, as a group, we can't endorse candidates. But you certainly, speaking for yourself, can endorse anyone you want.
You also can say things against a candidate. You can't say something for one candidate and against another.
As a group. I'm not sure.
I think that relates to candidates that are running
Yeah.
for office, but those that are in power, we can say whatever the hell we want about them.
We talked about we need to have
More outreach, more media coverage. We're starting to get that, in our audience to bring more people into the discussion.
Okay.
and we talked about specifically college.
Yeah, we'd like to get younger people involved, college students involved, and more press, more outreach.
Our group, along the lines of coverage, a lot about local. There's statewide and maybe national. So I'm definitely interested in that. This lady here suggested like the shadow show. Like she is always running of local business. So I've been going over a little bit the WCAC, but it's we have some meetings there. And I'm just that's so I just what else. Like there obviously no guarantees, but it's cool. I can pick up. So I look at it. So that was what we talked about too, just like thinking bigger with media coverage, identifying these opportunities. And the other things that we talked about with what I this group are just like larger events with a larger presence for a small area, which is a tall order. But maybe for something like with the No Kings 2 event on October 18th, maybe we could ask everyone to try to bring a friend. We also know some of my life has still gotten out there to a person yet. Maybe never reached one. And then it's a scary concept. And if we all know something like that, we can double our size. But if you try to get that person to go with you to the next one, especially if you can start with that one, it's gonna be a business. That would be really cool if we could all bring friends. Yeah, because, it's a challenge unofficially offered, so that would be really cool to see. And then the last thing, one big line is that come home. It's home was better because we all know where to go in this area. And it's hard to challenge it. Really. But these meetings are kind of nice like that because I'm in a room with people who feel the way I do and can stick to things that I do. So the camaraderie is a really important thing to keep that.
I want to see this, like this is, make a difference, and you can make a bigger difference. Than camaraderie, very important. Wonder to help get out the vote. Is there something we can do as a group to help get out the vote?
Yeah.
Think so? Okay. And then we like the idea of frequent rallies, but we all, because, like I see online that there's some cities, sometimes they have every this area. But the concern is you do it enough times and you become background.
I think the way that we've been doing it, when we have one here, and maybe in a couple weeks we have another one, we have less of a chance of becoming the background noise, but we don't want to not be making noise of some sort. And and the different things, and, you know, like you were talking earlier, like the one coming up is the release date unredacted files. That would be the important part of that one. And, you know, the notating, that was a huge rabbit. That was a huge one. And, you know, like obviously a theme to each of the rallies.
Inviting people, like the talk to, that'll help also to, link with other groups that are working on some of these issues. Veterans, climate action, labor unions, poor people's campaign. If we could link some of those different organizations or help them get to our website, then they are like-minded people who might join us. What we do is they usually look
How many tables? We can the table? 8. I don't remember how many tables we had.
Just like today I said, we can't get respect. Respect flowers and because we got children, like he probably had a good weekend, but the national guards are not. And we should have the street. And, so, maybe, made a phone call to their senators and their representatives. And that would happen. Now, that's the purpose of this person. She's running in power of respect. Because they said about the telephone, the email was open to read. The post office power of respect. Okay. That's one thing. And then, these people need to make a change. Reach out to people. Not the wrong thing. And of course, I think there's something to get rid of the values. Things like that. And as a we need the vaccine. We need the vaccine. COVID, such as they can do that. We also need to work on the voting. Because so many things. And the mail-in voting. So one time it said, if you really value the army, maybe you need the voting, because mail-in voting, that's how they vote. So if we don't have mail-in voting, they can't vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so there is one thing that I want to go ahead and touch on that I just thought of while we were sharing the meeting. It kind of goes back to education and breaking down some of those barriers. I think though we need to look at this from the perspective of a grassroots movement. Sure, Indivisible is nationwide, but in Appalachia, we focus more on the supports that we have. We focus on our neighbors. And so that creates those vacuums, those bubbles. And I think it's important that we also speak to people with ideas that are different, say, from our personal, and letting people know that it's kind of like, hey, this movement is bigger than party. And we need to be out there educating people so that if they decide to go ahead and vote with this place, they're more educated than, say, voting their political party no matter the thing. We need to make sure that people are, making knowledgeable decisions and are keeping their ear to the ground.
So, yeah, tonight, I'd like to give them 2 minutes to talk without even voting.
Fine.
Right, Dr. William.
Some of you are not too much of read, so, first thing I want to make intelligent, this has to find. And this is courtesy of Kim's husband. But it's also easy, as you pointed, people come up and say, oh, I can vote for this guy, and this is, I can see your company for it, but you can't read. But the issues that I want to speak to is, we must, I'm a member of Veterans for Peace, a life member of the war, these that the families providing is a little more careful. But veterans issues are really important to me. More than 50 years ago, at Marietta courthouse, war and other groups to recognize Agent Orange is really a deadly disease. And I stand in front of you as a victim of that. I'm a living marginal leukemia victim, but I'll survive. And so we need to stand up, and health has basically reduced the veterans administration by about 20%. Veteran suicide, for example, from 1979 to 2019, these are just Vietnam vets, 100,000. Can you believe that? 100,000. I took the proof. And in 1922, there was like, I don't know, it's just 17.6 Vietnam veterans that committed suicide dead. Now, I mean, that's something we need to talk about. But many Vietnam veterans, I'm here now, and lots of my friends who passed on, one today, were at the mercy of the VA. If you ever had to deal with the VA for something as simple as hearing aids, I don't think anybody other than the IRS can make this more complicated. So we need to speak with them, because I know many of you, Kim, for example, are veterans who are in this room, and our rights, as many other rights, have been taken away. And I do know what happens in a city when they allow the National Guard into town. I graduated from Penn State in 1970, and I was there, so I can tell you exactly what happened. So, don't be afraid to do this. And thank you very much.
So Marley is the head of our watchdog, so, like, we get the point of it. Okay.
Hi, my name is Marley. I was recently given the opportunity to assist Sue Ellen as a co-chair for the Watchdog, so I will be giving updates on what the Watchdog Committee has to share with all of you at the meetings from now on. I do have just a few updates today. Sue Ellen shared an update regarding Parkersburg City Council. They have increased the number of sponsors that are required to add an item to the agenda. It was previously 3 sponsors, and that has been increased now to 5. So, oh, okay. Okay, so 4. It's now 4 instead of 3. I do also have an update on the Marietta City Council. Let me get my notes here. So this update was from Maren Beery. I think I'm pronouncing that right. The Marietta City Council proceeded as a committee of the whole to file a comment and objection letter in opposition to an additional injection well within proximity to the Marietta City aquifer. There will be a public meeting regarding the well application by Deep Rock on September 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Marietta High School. And there was one last thing that I wanted to bring up. The West Virginia State Treasurer's Office recently made an announcement regarding the Hope Scholarship. It has administered roughly $13 million since August 15th this year, so in less than 2 weeks, which is a lot. However, I wanted to just take the time to remind everybody that the Hope Scholarship Program will be expanding in 2026. So starting on July 1st of 2026, it will be open to all West Virginia residents that are in school, regardless of if they are already enrolled in private school or homeschool. This expansion is estimated to cost roughly $300 billion, which will be diverted away from West Virginia public schools. So I just wanted to shed some light on that. I think the Hope Scholarship goes under a lot of people's radars because it sounds like a good thing for one, and I do think people get it confused for the Promise Scholarship. So I just wanted to point that out to hopefully keep that on everyone's radar when it comes to the next legislative session. I think it probably will get brought up again. And I think that's all.
Okay, I think that just a few reminders that, signs over here, which you can take a picture of the September 6th, September 7th, 16th, and 22nd events. I don't know if I mentioned the things at Marietta College, the Learning and Retirement course. It's going to be on the U.S. Constitution. There's information about that over there. And then the speaker at the DEM headquarters on September 22nd. He's going to talk about, right, the rise of Nazi Germany and parallels to today. That would be great. That would be really interesting. Our next meeting will be on October 1st, and it's in downtown Parkersburg. Thank you so much for coming in. Sorry we went over, but a lot of information. Thank you.
William, Rachel, thank you so much for sticking with her. I want to get off yet.
Okay.